Hello, it is Thursday, November 17th, or if you are joining us from Australia, it is Friday, November 18th, sometime in the afternoon, right? Depending what time zone you're in. We are here to discuss the season premiere and episode 2 of The Challenge Australia. We are very excited to be going back down under. I just can't wait. So excited. All right. Hello again. I am John Dunphy. I'm joined by my very best mates in the whole world, Kyle Petty and Gina Morgina. Or Gina. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just said your name. You're my best mate in the whole world. And I said your
name. Known me for half my life. Can't say my name. It's fine. Nice. It's fine.
Actually, you know what might have thrown me off is that on the bottom of your little video box there, it actually says
Gina Morgina.
Gina Morgina. So I think subliminally there, I was a little thrown off. But
Excuses.
The three of us idiots here make up the podcast, Strat Chat, which is of course your favorite reality TV podcast. If you want to find us on the socials, you can do so at Strat Chat Pod on Twitter, on Instagram, or if you want to find us on our website, you can look for www.stratchatpod.com. All right. Let's do it right now. I think the way I want to kick this off, if you guys don't mind, I want to get everybody's first impressions of this fantastic new host that we're being introduced to, Bryony Dawson. What do you think of them?
Love Bryony.
Yeah, I love them. Right. Yeah, and I also a part of me also was kind of wondering it's also because I'm just so excited to see the challenge hosted by somebody else. I wanted to make sure that my love for them was not misplaced, and I do not believe it is. Once we got to episode 2, I was very, very sure.
No, they are amazing.
Yeah, really fun.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Just such a great energy. Seems like genuinely excited to be there and to be doing this. I have already fallen in love with Bryony as a host. I can't wait to continue watching them. Yeah.
In that way, I kind of feel very similar to Arissa, really genuinely into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's made me think about a little bit more something else that we've talked about how are they going to handle the hosting duties, right, on this global challenge? Will it be all TJ? And just the first 2 episodes of this has made me feel like, of course, I want to see TJ in the global challenge, but I really feel like Bryony's got to be in there somewhere. Hosting some of these daily challenges or eliminations. Maybe they rotate. Yeah. Who knows?
They've got to rotate.
Bryony's got to be there. I've already decided. So,
and there you have it. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Matt? Good to see you. So beginning of the episode. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, there was some kind of montage in the beginning of this episode. It does look, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm just an idiot. Well, I'm definitely an idiot, but it looks like we're going to see some different daily challenges on this season than we did on the Challenge USA, which is what I was hoping. I don't want to just watch the same season again. No, but yeah. So I'm excited to see what Australia's come up with for this iteration of the challenge that we're getting to watch now.
Can't wait.
Right. So starting off, we had all the players gathering, together for the very first time. It looks like they were in the arena, right? Looks like this is the arena from the Challenge USA. So it kind of felt like a familiar setting to us. Bryony comes out, of course, looking fabulous.
Mhm.
And they tell the cast about the prize money, about the global challenge. They talk about all that stuff, and just kind of getting together for the first time. There wasn't really too much that happened here, but from here, the whole cast went back to the house, and this is where some things started to pick up. Some of the things that I thought were interesting was right off the bat, you see all the Bachelor people kind of grouping together, deciding that they want to team up and work together.
Makes
I
sense.
saw specifically. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And we saw the same sort of thing in the Challenge USA, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So we saw Kieran, Brittany, Conrad, and Megan. Specifically, I saw them really talking about staying, batchy strong, I think they were calling it.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Already seeing lines be drawn and alliances be formed. We got some drama over the bed selection right away. Everyone took their jersey
out of the gate.
Right. This was our first introduction, really, to I think they were calling her Cyclone Sorrel, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
and quite the introduction it was.
Right? Did you have any thoughts on it? Because it seemed like there were a lot of people running around, putting their jerseys on beds, kind of figure out where they were going to be, who they were going to be with in which room. What did you think of this? Did you have any opinion on this? Is it stupid to even talk about?
Yeah, I just thought the whole thing was ridiculous. I mean, it's not stupid to talk about. They put it in the episode. I mean, it's there. So it's it was stupid because yes, everyone else was putting their jerseys on the bed and blah blah blah. But you clearly see that there are shoes there. There's obviously an intention there.
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous. They're not your shoes.
Right. No, absolutely. And I feel like this is a stupid thing to really even bring up, but I just feel like, we're not even 10 minutes into the first episode, the season premiere of the season, and we're already getting drama. So I feel like these are the seeds that could, later lead to different lines being drawn and people working together. So
it was so early that the reason why the shoes were there is because she didn't even get her jersey yet. That's how early this was.
Right.
Yeah, it's very stupid. It's very stupid.
But yeah, there wasn't too much else that happened. There was a lot of drinking and partying. There was a funny moment between Johnny and Dave, where Johnny just sort of tackled Dave into the pool or something like that, throws him over his shoulder and jumps into the pool. That was fun. Seems like this could be a fun cast to watch. But really, there wasn't much that happened in the house. But we had our first daily challenge soon after that. And this was a daily challenge that we saw very recently on the Challenge USA.
I laughed so hard the moment I started seeing what this was because all I could hear in my head was, "They're blocking me!" Yes. And I was like, no, stop.
Yes. Yeah.
Collect four. Now, so when we got into the stadium where they were going to be doing this challenge, Bryony tells the cast they're going to be working in pairs, and they get to choose their pairs. So I'm sure all these people are thinking, "Oh, this is my pair for the season. We're going to be such a great duo," or "I can't believe I got stuck with this person." And so our pairs that we ended up with, it was Grant and Jessica. I mean, I don't have to really go through all these, but Grant and Jessica, Troy and Brooke B, Brittany and Kieran, Johnny and Sugar, Jack and Sorrel, Ryan and Emily, David and Kiki, Marley and Audrey, Brooke and Connor, Billy and Susan, Conrad and Megan. No one's going to remember any of those, but whatever.
I don't really have to go through all these.
And then I did anyway. But yeah, so as we know, this competition involves each of these pairs. They have to run through the stadium, up into the seats, a lot of running, a lot of stairs. And you have to find your team's color tokens. Collect these tokens. You have to run down. And now you have a choice. You can either put your color side up for the token on your own board and try to collect 4 and put 4 in a row. Or you could flip your token over to the black side and put it on an opponent's board and try to block them. And you can see how new these folks are to this game of the challenge, because this went very differently than we saw in the Challenge USA. There was a lot of blocking, right? A lot of blocking in the Challenge USA. Whereas in this game, pretty much everybody was just trying to get their 4 in a row. Well,
I do think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Well, first, I mean, this was also played differently than in US, because we had this done singly when we did
Yeah.
it. You know, but we also did it later in our season where there'd be a reason to block.
Yeah.
These people just met each other. Some people,
Yeah.
they
It's
don't
like
even
the
really know
first
each other.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have been surprised if, especially with the way the Australian culture is. They're not as nasty as us. It really would have surprised me for somebody to come right out of the gate with a block.
Blocking people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason that like I was surprised we didn't see at least a couple more is because there's history within this cast. Like it's brand new in the game, and it's very early in the game, obviously, but there's a lot of connections. Maybe they were romantic in the past or whatever. Like, so there is a history here. There could be bad blood, between some of these players.
Someone is after Kyle right now.
Oh,
like,
man.
do you see him looking around?
Kyle, is there an emergency over there?
It's just the way he looked at his window, like, uh-oh.
No, I mean, it's like a bunch of fire trucks, and honestly, there's school buses in between them. Like,
interesting.
What is that, right?
Oh,
Yeah. It's still going. It's
know.
like a parade.
I hope everything's all right.
Sorry.
I hope everything's all right.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it's not your fault. It's an emergency.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But honestly, listen, I still, even with all the history in there, I still would have been surprised because Australians, again, are not nasty like us. They would not think, oh, I have bad blood with you. Get out of here. They would sooner say, hey, maybe this is a good chance for us to get back on one accord. So I'm not going to do that to you. I don't want to deepen the wound here.
Yeah.
They're just better people.
Okay.
Facts are facts.
So what did you think of Brooke J and Connor late in the game deciding to block? I didn't really understand this at all. I felt like it was pointless to do this at this stage of the competition. They chose very late to block. Who was it? I don't remember who they blocked. Oh, Grant and Jessica. Brooke J and Connor. They blocked Grant and Jessica.
Because they had 3. It seemed very silly because nobody was going to block them on the other end. So,
right.
Yeah,
because like immediately, it seemed like a waste. And like right after, right after Brooke J and Connor, and obviously this could be the edit, but like the way they made it look is that like Brooke J and Connor did that block, and then immediately after, Ryan and Emily won. So Emily and Ryan are first daily challenge winners of the season. But I'm sure some of that might have been the edit.
Probably.
But it was just funny to me because it was like, oh, Brooke J like puts the token down and she's like, I don't know what everybody else is playing, and then immediately after you hear the horn blow and it's like Emily and Ryan win. It's like, what's the point of that? Like you're just pissing people off. Like all you did was piss people off for no reason.
Right.
Yeah. It was weird to me. It seemed like a pointless block that's just going to make people mad at you for no reason.
Right.
So, yeah. And okay, so I had to like get my head back in this game because I remember this is how it happened on the Challenge USA, but we've now been watching the Challenge 38 where the winner just picks 4 teams to interrogate. And I had to, all of a sudden I remembered, no, the last place team goes straight to elimination in this. And in this episode, the last place team was Sorel and Jack. All right,
they had to keep they had to keep playing until somebody came in last, and literally every single person was like, well, gotta get them out.
Yeah,
it was the whole reasoning behind it, though, that you didn't find that funny.
I thought it was so strange.
Yeah, so the announcement was made that now we had to have losers for this, and it's like, now you have to go down and now block people, and then only because she coughed.
Yeah, they were like, oh, she's sick, get her out of here.
That's right,
exactly,
right.
Yes.
That's right. No, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, should we just go for her? She's sick.
I will say the way
what?
I will say that the way she coughed, like it felt very much like, oh, Brian telling everybody like, oh, all right, now you have to block someone, and the first person to have all their spaces blocked, they're the losers, and you just heard like a very like, like a very like, I was like, is that even a real cough? Like, are you trying to get sympathy? Because
feel sorry for me, I'm sick.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. It was very much like, oh, everybody knows Sorel's been sick. She's trying to play this up so that nobody goes for them. So
that's what you
now let's put it on
was?
Sorel and Jack. That's how I
to me,
read
it literally looked like she just happened to cough, and they were like, "Get her."
I don't know. I thought she was really leaning into it when I watched, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's definitely what I thought it was. I just thought they were like, they just needed a reason, and she just happened to cough.
Honestly, her cough before they even decided to go after Sorel and Jack, the way she was coughing honestly made me roll my eyes. It seemed to me like she was like using it as an excuse, like, oh my god,
Maybe
I know how to make them not go after us. I'm just gonna start coughing uncontrollably right now.
Wow.
Just hacking up a lung.
I'm sorry, it's just the way I saw it.
No, it's true opinion.
Okay, so we have our first team that's going into elimination, Sorel and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And then the winners here, Ryan and Emily, will have to go back to the house, and they have to decide who's going to face Sorel and Jack in elimination. So in deliberation, I think at one point Sorel mentioned Billy and Susan as someone they'd want to face in elimination. That was a team that they thought, they could handle. Emily and Ryan actually brought up Brooke, Jay, and Connor as an option. And they mentioned that, they were the only team to block anybody before that second half of the competition where they had to choose their losers. So that was kind of the reasoning for that, where like everyone else was just kind of playing their own game, and Brooke, Jay, and Connor went out of their way to block somebody when no one else did. What did you think of that?
Nothing else to go by, so you might as well use that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There was some drama too with Connor here, right? Was that in this? Oh my god! See, now watching so much of the challenge makes everything blend together. I know that there was drama at one point with Connor, but I'm trying to decide now if it was.
That was in the second episode.
It was the second episode. Okay, good.
Episode. Yeah.
Okay. So we had club night. We had our Australian club night. I think. So Sorel, I think at one point was blocking Grant about blocking her in the challenge because apparently Sorel and Grant have a connection outside of the house. Apparently Sorel's boyfriend or her significant other, her partner, is very tight with Grant. And apparently before going into the house, Grant kind of told this guy, Aiden, who Sorel is with, that he would kind of look out for her and would make sure that like they were kind of working together or whatever. So out in front of the whole cast, you see Sorel kind of blowing up at him, calling him a snake and all that. Like, What do you think of this? Should Grant have been more? Grant himself just kind of said, like, this is a game. Like, I'm sorry, this is a game. But do you think that he should have been more, everyone else was blocking her. So I think it doesn't matter whether he went along with it or not. But, like, should he have kind of stayed away from that? I don't know. Does it matter?
No. She's just being ridiculous. She's just living up to the name that she's been given. Yeah. I feel like she just understood the assignment. She knows she's going into elimination, so she's got to make sure she lives up to her name so she can be invited to season 2.
Okay,
perhaps.
I hear you.
It just felt like a bit much, like for no reason. It's our second big blow up, and we haven't even gotten to the first elimination yet.
right.
Like, I don't know. Like, relax, honey. Let's go sit down.
Yeah.
Have a drink. Have a drink.
Yeah. And then to wrap up club night, Emily did mention to Billy Dibbs that that his name had been mentioned for elimination.
Yeah.
So just kind of giving him a little warning. Now, from here, the cast returns to the house, a little tipsy, and we had our first little steamy moment of the season. Now, the only reason I'm really bringing this up is because one of my people in our draft that we did going into the season was Kieran. And I was kind of laying out some of his history on some of these shows. He was like a golden boy at one point. People loved him. And then he really kind of shifted and was now being described as a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Not really a good guy. But in his own words, at the beginning of this episode, he described himself as wanting to change the narrative, sort of like get himself back on track. And he did not get off to a good start.
No.
Yeah. Because they came back from the club and Kieran and Audrey got into the shower together. And both of them now started talking about how they each have somebody at home.
It got real messy real quick.
Yeah, right. They did both seem to then regret it like pretty soon afterwards, but I've seen some stuff on social media that seems to be a little bit of a controversy here. But so what do you think? Our first little showman's moment of the season, Kieran and Audrey. What do you
right
think?
out the gate.
I thought it was a bit of a shame. I kind of felt bad. No way to start the season. And now it's going to be on his mind the entire time he plays this game. But how is the rest of it's going to cast a dark cloud over his challenge experience, unfortunately. I think it's a shame. Yeah. It's a shame it happened. It's a shame for everyone.
Yeah. I hear you. But okay, let's get into this elimination.
Shame.
Shame. Let's get into this elimination, huh? Obviously, like we said, Cyril and Jack automatically going in. And Emily and Ryan choose, and this was the team that I guess that Cyril and Jack had wanted, right? They choose Billy and Susan to go into elimination to face them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't really know, any of these people. So, it's we're still getting to know so many of them. So, I didn't really have any emotional attachment to any of them. So,
no.
All right, let's just see what happens, Mm-hmm. But of course, this was an elimination that we are very familiar with. We've seen it on the Challenge USA, but also other previous seasons of the Challenge.
Oh, yes.
On MTV. So not so fast. So obviously there's this sort of structure in the sand. Each team has one with a very large rope attached to it. And the first portion of this competition is you pull the rope and you try to twist it and knot it up and tie it around and just do anything you can to make it almost impossible for the second portion of the competition, where now the teams will switch and they'll have to try to unravel the rope that their opponents twisted and tied up for them. I love this competition. I always love to see it.
Yeah.
I always love to see it. So it's just
a fun one.
Yeah.
It's when that Azza won. Was it Azza and Kylan?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That is correct. Mm-hmm. Now, did you have any predictions on who you thought might win this one? Were you surprised with the outcome?
I had no predictions, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know any of these people well enough to know how anyone competes. So,
and honestly, in a competition like this, I feel like it could go any way.
It's kind of a wild card, yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many factors at play. How well was it tangled? How agile are you with navigating through it? Did you get tangled? Right. I mean, like it's one of those that anyone can win or lose that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed right off the bat was it seemed like Cyril and Jack were communicating way better than Billy and Susan. They were just working together much better. I'm sorry, what does Matt say here? Oh my God, we used to play a game like this in PE as kids. That sounds so fun, like an adult version. Love that. So, it's funny because we were talking about Cyril, right? Kind of having these blow-ups very early into the episode. And so it surprised me a little bit that Cyril and Jack were communicating so well and Billy and Susan were having so much trouble. And it was like a fairly close match, but at the end of the day, Billy and Susan were eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
It's our first team to go.
Yeah, sorry. You're welcome to come back if we do another one.
Yeah, I would like to see them back. I like them. The small part we saw of them. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Now, for our draft purposes, now who had who? Billy and Susan? Who took L's?
Kyle, you had Billy.
Yeah.
And John had Susan.
Damn.
Bang.
But I would like to say both Emily and Ryan were on mine. So
all right, it's not like you picked them.
I mean, exactly.
Well, all right, I'm just saying. Right. If we're talking about the people who lost, we also have to talk about the people who won.
No, we can, and no one.
Yeah, but don't sit there and make that face like they're on my list.
You're just mad because you both lost one.
I'm not mad at all. I was given these people due to an Instagram grid. I just think I object to the fact that you are touting this as if you have this now over us.
Okay.
Yeah. Gina can say what she wants, but anyone else.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you what. This episode would not have been complete without the introduction of the perfect algorithm. Bryony now instructs the cast that they will no longer be choosing their own partners, and they won't be staying with these partners that they have for any longer, unless, of course, everyone gets partnered up, and there's just no other way to do it, without having someone have to partner up again. But we didn't see that happen on the Challenge USA, though, right? I don't think we saw that.
I don't think so.
But yeah, so we had our new teams. I'm not going to read these all out again. They're all different now than they were before. That's all you need to know. Okay. So yeah, that's the end of episode 1. I'm not going to talk about the next on because we're about to talk about the next on. So,
yeah.
But what I will do is I think we should talk about Bryony's outfits, huh?
Yeah,
Sure.
So I'm actually so disappointed in myself because I just now realized the one thing I forgot to do. And it's really not that important, I guess. But I forgot to make a caption for this segment, which we've decided to call, right?
No.
We've decided to call Bryony's Bangin' Britches. Kyle, you looked very surprised about that, but that was your idea.
I couldn't remember the name we landed on. Yeah.
I don't remember doing this, but yes, okay, sounds great.
Britches.
I don't remember doing this. Oh man, I've had it in my head like all week.
I remember talking about it, but I can't remember what we landed on.
Well, because at first I had written to you guys and I said, "What about brainstorming Bryony's Britches?" And then Kyle wrote back, "Bryony's Bangin' Britches." So we love our alliteration, so
we do.
But anyway, let's get into these outfits. This was our first introduction to Bryony. Got the this little jacket on there, t-shirt, hair looking great.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this?
It's a hot.
Okay,
they look great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, they look amazing.
Absolutely. So hots across the board.
Sure.
For Bryony. Okay.
I am.
Okay. Now our next look here, I believe this was, I think I'm missing a picture here, but it doesn't matter. This was one of the eliminations. What do you think of that? I love this jacket.
Mm-hmm.
This looks great. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this?
I would give this a hot too, honestly.
Right? It's got to be a hot.
Yeah.
It's giving punk rocker giving an interview. Thank you. I agree. Okay, and then I have one more here. I don't know if I just forgot to upload it or if Restream, messed with me and didn't accept my upload. But the last outfit here, this was during the daily challenge that we're going to talk about on episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like this outfit a lot too. What do you think about this one?
Fine.
I'm less excited about this one.
Yeah,
less excited, but I will say they did come down this runway, this little strip of road here, hanging from the side of the truck. They actually got up there and did it. So you got to dress somewhat comfortable for that.
Sure.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's a tepid.
So there's, I'll give it a tepid too.
It's fine.
The first two looks. I mean, these two looks really are on a different.
Oh yeah.
Different level. They're on a different
I
level.
like the jackets. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Right. This is much more casual,
Yeah.
So, all right. And that's that. That is that.
That is.
Okay. Let's get into episode 2, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do I got here? Okay. Oh, we had our second showman sighting of the season with Johnny and Jessica, but this was another one where they made out and then immediately regretted it.
Yeah,
a lot of little these relationships are very much like start and stop immediately. I wonder though, if they'll have any implications going further into the season. Will these people are obviously drawn to each other. So could if there's feelings there, if they're nervous about it now as we get deeper into the game, could it become something where now they want to start working together? What do you guys think about that? The implication of showmances on the season potentially.
Well, yeah, they end up getting paired up together. Yeah.
No.
Like, unless it was a result of having already been paired. But yeah, I get that certainly could be a problem if you are no longer canoodling once you do get paired together. Yeah, you're not going to work well together.
Right. And for Jessica here in particular, I thought this was interesting because we were talking about Kieran earlier, and Jessica is somebody that has this history with Kieran. They were on I think it was Bachelor, I forget which version of it, but in Australia they had like a relationship, and Kieran like really screwed her over and like embarrassed her. And so for Jessica here, this was a moment where she regretted it because she's been on a show before where, the drama of sort of like a relationship kind of really affected her and impacted her negatively. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so we have our daily challenge, which we saw also on the Challenge USA, and it was called Truck It. Truck It.
Now,
was this seemed a little different, right? This seemed a little different than how we did it in the USA.
Because this was the one that Angela was the only one that could do it, right? Or is that something different?
I think that's right, actually. But was it so? They were in pairs though for this, though, right? I mean, at this point,
right? That's what I'm saying. Because if this was the same one, it was individual on the US because Angela was the only one that could finish it, and she was doing it by herself, right? Or am I remembering that wrong?
I don't remember. I don't remember totally, but I feel like it was different. So, yeah, who knows?
Because I couldn't remember if it was just similar and we had seen this version of it before. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure, honestly. We could take a look. But this felt like it was a different type of competition to me. This had each team, so 2 teams would go at a time. 1 team on each side of this truck. And basically, on each side, the 2 members of the pair would start on opposite ends, and they had to use these pegs to meet in the middle and then hand off a baton that the player closest to the pot then that was hanging from this truck, they would have to go across to the end, jump and smash this pot, releasing this colorful powder into the air. This was fun. This was a lot of fun, this challenge, I thought, to watch. But except, not many people did great. But
no, success rate was very low.
Yeah. I still thought it was fun to watch though. Like it was actually, like I forget who it was now, but there was one girl and she actually did pretty well. She dropped her like the peg that she was using to try to climb across, and her partner like somehow still got the baton to her. It was very laughing at my use of the word baton.
Yes. Because I do like it, but like, you're trying to use it as if like that's how we say it. Just you're trying to be conversational about it. This is very funny to me. That's all.
I just like it. Okay. Yeah, but people really struggled here. I think the best performing teams though were Troy and Jessica, right? I think Kieran and Megan also finished. I don't think anybody else even finished.
It's a tough one.
Like Yeah. They all pretty much. And then Grant and Sugar, I think they also finished, but they were in the same heat as Troy and Jessica, and Troy and Jessica, honestly, just absolutely blew everyone out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Troy and Jessica were the winners of this daily challenge, and Troy, I got to tell you, he looks like he's going to be tough to beat in a lot of different types of competitions. He looks like he's going to be very versatile. Yeah. What do you? Any thoughts?
None, other than that, I agree. Where did he come from? Does anybody remember?
Well, they keep calling him the ninja.
Yes.
Ninja warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, and if memory serves, he'd done it like multiple times or something.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely is one to watch. Hopefully he'll do better than Natalie Ninja.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
she was a hot damn mess.
Natalie Nation.
So yeah,
It's true.
but they
But
are
yeah.
true athletes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Troy and Jessica, they take the daily challenge win, and then the team that came in last, that would be going straight to elimination, um, they were the last team by virtue of traveling the shortest distance and taking the longest time to do it. That was Audrey and Jack.
Mhm.
Audrey and Jack, last place, straight to elimination.
So
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. But all right. Now this is where, when I was mentioning Connor before, this is where this came up, because after the elimination, after the daily challenge, I mean, Connor was being very vocal and really talking a lot about how I lost, but I'm safe, I'm good. He felt very safe with Troy and Jessica winning, and having the power. So it was, that whole thing was interesting to me. Like, what did you think of this? Like, Connor, I feel like we've seen other people celebrating after someone else wins, even if they lost. You know what I mean? Like on other shows, like it seems like people took it very personally that Connor was just like, "Oh, I didn't win, but I'm good." Like what did you think of that?
I didn't think anything of it. At least not until
it,
later.
it could have gotten thrown into elimination, is what I'm saying. So
I feel like it's a little early to feel that safe with anybody. Like you just met these people, you just started playing this game. I don't know why you're so confidently safe in the second episode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. But I know Emily in particular, because they had won, Emily had been part of the team that won the first daily challenge, and she was feeling like she might go in. She was a target. But that was a team. Emily and David was a team that was brought up to Jack and Audrey by Jessica and Troy. So that was somebody that they were thinking of. Now, Jack and Audrey, though, were saying in this deliberation that they actually really wanted to face Connor and Brooke B, who was Connor's partner. They think that they're, the best chance to win, but they also brought up that they felt like, part of the reason too is that Connor feels like he's so safe. It's like, why should he get to feel so safe? So yeah, I don't know. It was brought up at the club night and stuff too. And even Jessica said that she didn't seem to fully trust Connor. Like she felt definitely some weird vibes there. So at that point, like they left it open, obviously with the editing, at David's plan, because that was what he wanted to do too. David actually mentioned, like, I want to cause a rumor and try to stir something up. And at that point, I was like, oh, maybe David's plan will actually work here.
Yeah. I really thought it was, honestly.
Yeah.
I really liked David.
I did. Me too. And we know who David is, right? Do you remember what I told you? David Sabritsky is the brother of Kayla from Big Brother Australia.
Kayla,
who basically gave up her game. Remember she was like, "Oh, let Johnson and the rookies that."
Kayla.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did not remember that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. I really enjoy him.
Yeah. He's awesome. He's cool.
But I do not enjoy this Brooke B. Where is she from? Like, what is her deal? She had that whole thing where she's just like, oh, I'm very introverted. I don't really like big personalities. They overwhelm me. Then why are you on reality TV? Oh, that's what she's from. She's from like The Bachelorette or there's something like that.
Yeah, I think she was a Bachelorette. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what? Like, why are you even in this world? And why would you agree to be on the challenge if you don't like big personalities? Like, do you not know what the challenge is? Like, I don't know. I feel like she might have actually been the best bet here. Because she doesn't look like she has any skin in the game whatsoever.
Right. And I think she even made a comment. She was like, I don't make alliances in real life. Why would I make alliances here? And it's like, why would you make an alliance in real life?
I can't think of any situation where I've needed an alliance.
Like, what does that even mean? It's like, you're not going to make an alliance here, then you're not playing the game. Like, what is this?
That's the point.
Yeah. Right.
Not a fan.
Yeah. But I mean, that pretty much takes us to the elimination. and unfortunately, I wasn't happy to see this. I did want to see Connor in, because at this point I was bought in. I was like, he's too safe.
Yeah.
He deserves to go in. I was like bought into it.
Yeah, I was a victim of the edit today.
Yeah. But Troy and Jessica decided to go with David and Emily to face Jack and Audrey in elimination. And the elimination was In Your Face, which we were just talking about a little earlier, because it just so happened that this week, the Challenge 38 Ride or Dies on MTV also had this elimination, In Your Face. And this one, I'm glad we got to see it twice. I really like this elimination.
I like it a lot. And this particular one was wild to watch.
Yeah, this one was thrilling.
Yes, it was. The one in Challenge 38 was exciting.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch, but this was
glued to my screen. I think I was yelling at my computer screen.
Yeah. Just down to the wire.
Yeah. It was crazy. And it's just we're going to get into it, but it looked so cut and dry. And I was like, all right, I don't got to pay attention to this. And then all of a sudden it was tied. And I was like, how did that even happen? It looked like it was going to be a no-brainer of who was going to win this one. And then it suddenly wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me, I'll describe the event here. So the teams, like we said earlier, they hauled the concrete blocks from one side, and they have to stack them up on this box. They stacked them very neatly, and then the weight of the blocks would open the gate, let the balls loose, and then the teams just had to go at it. One player on the team would play offense, one would play defense. And yeah, you just had to throw these balls at your opponent's targets with their faces up there, and whoever got all the targets first would win. So David and Emily get an early lead. They're doing great. They get all their balls, and Emily starts playing offense. David starts playing defense, and they get off to a flying start. Take a huge lead. Finally, Jack and Audrey get their balls out, and Jack starts throwing for his team, and Audrey starts playing defense. And I think, was it Audrey who said that she actually played soccer or something, I think, in the past? Because she did a great job. She was awesome. And I think that's the only reason that Jack and Audrey got so close. They came back so close. Because it's true. Once you have that one target left, it's hard to get
very
that.
Hard. Yeah.
All that person has to do is stand in that one spot, and just block anything they throw.
Yeah.
So very, very difficult. Audrey did a fantastic job. And they make a huge comeback. And like you said, Gina, what was probably a 7 or 8 target lead that David and Emily had ended up being 9-9 right down to the wire.
It was freaking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And our winners, of course, were David and Emily. And that means that Audrey and Jack were sadly eliminated, which means that I lost another person.
Yes, but also Australia lost their person.
Yeah, the person that we assigned to them based on a random
because
Instagram.
We had an extra person.
Yeah, there was one extra person. So sorry, Australia.
Australia was assigned Audrey.
And I know we don't talk about the winners here, but I would like to make it known that all 4 winners came from my team. I know I didn't choose them, but I still feel excited. Thank you.
Whatever.
Ooh, they're unamused. They are unamused. Listen, it's luck of the draw, but it's fun.
You know how I love my next ons, and I didn't really write anything for this one because I feel like they didn't really give us anything.
I didn't watch it. I never watched them, so
I have no idea what's going to happen, which is exciting. It's very exciting. But yeah. Do you guys have anything else for the first 2 episodes, the season premiere and episode 2 of the Challenge Australia?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm excited to see where this goes, especially because we don't really know all these people. So I'm excited to see how these pairings go because we know the algorithm isn't really random. So just these early pairings kind of tell us that we are to expect something.
Yeah.
They paired them together for a reason. Just like we got that Cachet and Man together.
And Man.
Yes.
Yeah, Cinco.
I saw his face and I'm just I totally blanking. But yeah.
Cachet and partner.
They absolutely made sure that happened, before either one of them left. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, if nobody's got anything else, I guess we can wrap up, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow, I'm so excited though. I'll just say to be watching another Australian show.
This is my first experience with Australian TV.
Yeah. So the cast is very fun. I love Bryony. Yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm excited to see like what different competitions they come up with in the Australian version of the challenge here, but also like what twists they'll put on, competitions that we already do know pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really think, even just with the way the season premiere started, I think there's going to be a lot of drama in the house. I think there's going to be a lot of blow-ups. But we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it'll be all kumbaya in there, but I think it's going to be really exciting and fun and like very strategic season that we're going to see, which we love on Strat Chat.
That we do. Yeah.
No,
I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we have coming up? So, for our Australian friends, if you are watching the US version of Survivor or The Amazing Race, we do that on Monday nights at 9:30 usually. This coming Monday night will be on at 9 p.m. Doing something, but we'll be announcing that at some point. And then Thursdays, like tonight or Thursday in the US, or Friday afternoon in Australia, we'll be talking Challenge 38 Ride or Dies if you watch that on MTV. But of course, every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. we'll be talking the Challenge Australia. So definitely tune in for that. If you want to find us on the socials, you can do so at StratChatPod on Twitter and on Instagram, or check out our website, www.stratchatpod.com. And I think that's it. Did I hit everything?
Well, it is worth noting that we won't be back next week on Thursday because Thanksgiving is an us thing and not a them thing.
Of course. You're so right. Thank you for reminding me. Next Thursday, usually we'll be talking that stuff at 9:30 and 10:30 on Thursday nights. Next Thursday night is Thanksgiving here in the U.S., so we'll be taking the night off to spend some time with our loved ones. But we promise that we will be back.
Our country implodes.
Yeah. Before our country implodes.
Loved ones.
Yeah, man, you're not wrong. It's crumbling all around us. All right, it's becoming a very different podcast. But anyway, yes, so much fun tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. Thank you to Kyle and Gina. You guys are always a blast to hang out with. I love you guys, and that's it. Have a good night.